Welcome to base camp. We got here last night just after dark. Made trekking here a little bit difficult for the last half hour or so. It took us 2 hours in total. So we're just literally on a little ledge in the forest, and you can see here this is my tent. Get a little bit of view inside there. It's a two-man tent, plenty of room. And I've already done my laundry, as you can see, hanging over here. Solomon's over there. So I was just giving us a wave. We just had breakfast over in the little hut there. Later in the week I realised I could set up my washing line, which was quite good because up until that point it had been a bit of a waste of money. This is my shower for the next few days. Actually alright, the water isn't too cold, so it's actually not a bad experience at all. So the trekking was really tough, some days harder than others, especially if there'd been rain the night before. As you can see, the visibility is really close, and I'll show you an example of what it's like when it's been taken down for farming, which is, yeah, it's quite sad to see how much the rainforest has actually been destroyed and won't come back for another sort of 10-15 years. So this is a good example of how dense the forest can be. This is actually secondary forest, which means that it was once farmland and then it has regrown. You can tell that because there aren't any large trees. But even so, over a few years, you can see the growth that's come back and how thick it is. So hopefully, you know, there is hope for farms that have been created. You know, if they've burnt the ground, then it won't come back for a long time. But if not, then hopefully it can grow back quite well. And you can see here more footage of me sort of following Solomon and the difficulties you encounter with having to sort of get under different branches. There's always something under your foot either slipping away or trying to trip you up, so it's quite hard. And then there are the rivers to cross. This is where there are sort of natural openings to the canopy which can be really dense, and you know, you just sort of step across. Luckily there hadn't been any rain, so it wasn't too slippy when we were doing this, though this was one of the easier ones over the course of the days that I was in the rainforest. What you won't see in this video is me falling over, and I did fall over a lot. Thankfully not into the rivers, but I just thought it was quite amusing. They call it forest dancing, quite politely. So I did a lot of dancing into the forest, and you just sort of pick yourself up, brush yourself off, you know, tend your battered ego, and then carried on really. So yeah, it was really fun, really hard trekking. But yeah, forest dancing. If there's anything you should take away from this, it is that you're not falling, you are just dancing.
Now, and we're just taking a rest, having trekked for a few hours. We've already heard a couple of signs of chimps and also recorded some gorilla feeding signs too.
So one of the things that I did do was learn how to capture data for conservation research, and you can see here there's some gorilla feeding signs as well as a gorilla's nest. It's hard to see it here, but this could actually support two people quite well, and being able to distinguish a gorilla's nest from a chimpanzee's nest was something that I never thought I'd do. Sadly, we also saw a lot of human signs, obviously deforestation I mentioned before, as well as gun shells from the hunting that goes on within the forest. While we only saw signs of the chimpanzees and the gorillas, we did see a lot of great animals. We saw a praying mantis, loads of different insects, butterflies in every single colour under the rainbow, as well as a bush baby and a tree snake. Here you can also see the discarded skin of another snake. And we later went to the Limbe Wildlife Sanctuary, where I actually got to see a gorilla in the flesh, albeit a domesticated one. And the sad thing here is that all their gorillas are from either the pet trade or were sold for food, for bushmeat. So they're all rescued, which is good that they're not, you know, captured for the wild for people's entertainment. But you know, the fact that they were actually in this situation in the first place is horrific. So what I've learned from my trip is it's nothing new. It's that, you know, we shouldn't be destroying the rainforest, that it is a precious commodity, and the animals therein are also. There are less than 300 gorillas, cross-river gorillas, left in the Cameroon rainforest, and that's the only place that they're found. So once they're gone, they're gone. And if anyone wants to help conserve the rainforest and work with the local communities to help them conserve the rainforest, then I would definitely suggest working with Aerodef. It's a hard trip, it's a challenging trip, it's a rewarding trip, and it's one that you will remember for the rest of your life.